Hi, everybody. Welcome to lecture 38. And I just wanted, we will jump right into the test for this lecture. So this will be test 38. But I just want to make a couple of comments first. Now remember that that all of the questions on the final exam will be multiple choice, except for one question. And so if you had a problem like this and it was in one of the multiple choice problems, then it would look very similar to what I have here. I mean, let's talk a little bit about the problem. Here we have a very simple state machine with a T flip-flop, and we have an input X. Here is X prime, and here is our output Z, and you can see the circuit. And so what you are asked in the test is, what are the correct excitation and output equations? And you have 4 choices. Then for number 2, which is the correct excitation table? And you have 4 choices. Number 3, which is the correct transition table? And you have 4 choices. And then finally for number 4, suppose that the initial value of A is 0 and the input string is X equals, and you see here the input string, which is the correct output string, and again you have 4 choices. So these are examples of multiple choice questions that could be asked in relation to a problem like this, or a circuit like this. For instance, I could give you a circuit like this, and I could ask you the correct excitation and output equations, or I might ask you which is the correct excitation table, in which case you would first need to find the correct excitation and output equations before you could get the correct excitation table. Or I might jump all the way and say which is the correct transition table, and then you would need to do this other stuff first in order to figure out the answer to that. But it's just like what we've been doing. On the other hand, if the one non-multiple choice question happened to be like this, then in this case, you will be graded, as I've said before, you're going to be graded on, you need to be neat, you need to be orderly, and you need to, explain what you're doing. Now, I certainly wouldn't expect you to write paragraphs and paragraphs, but your process needs to be clear. And of course, as we know, and as we're talking about right here, the process would be, if you were given this circuit, let's say you were given this circuit and you weren't told anything about these intermediate steps, you were just given a question, okay, suppose that the initial value of A is 0 and the input string is this, which is, what? It wouldn't be which now, because that implies multiple choice. It would be, what is the correct output string? And you would not be given any choices here. You would need to figure it out yourself. And furthermore, you would need to show all of your steps in getting from the beginning to the end. And so what we will do in class on Friday is I will show you exactly how this would be done if it happened to be if it was the non-multiple choice problem. I'll show you exactly what you need to do, and then of course in the process of doing that, we will answer these 4 questions which will appear on the daily test. So the daily test is going to look just the same as usual to you. You will have 4 problems, and each one will have 4 choices. But when we talk about this Friday in class, we will show how you would do this kind of a problem if it happened to be the one non-multiple choice problem on the test. And in the process of doing that, we'll come up with all the answers for your test as well. So that's it. And one more time, let me show you the choices here. You see here your circuit, and there's number one, what is the correct excitation, or what are the correct excitation and output equations? That's number one. And then for number two, it says which is the correct excitation table, and there you see the choices for that. And number three, which is the correct transition table, and there you see the 4 choices for that. And then finally, number 4, if A is originally equal to 0 and the input string is 101101000011, what is the correct output string? And there are the 4 choices for that. And so that should enable you to do the daily tests, and I very strongly encourage you to try to do this yourselves first. Work it out from beginning to end. Try not to look at the questions. Just do this problem from the beginning to the end, and then you'll be able to hopefully get all the correct answers and make the correct choices. And then, like I say, on Friday in class or on Zoom, you can watch as I show how to do this in that case. So that's it. Thanks very much, and I will talk to you soon.